Namaste, everybody. I've just been spending time just literally floating around on a lake on my paddleboard. It is the first day of fall, and it is incredibly gorgeous. And I thought about bringing my phone or not bringing my phone, but I spent the first hour not on it. So I feel like that's a share. That's authentic truth to being on the phone in nature, because sometimes I think when you go out in nature, you should just not take your phone and not take a photo and just enjoy the gifts of Mother Nature. But I really wanted to post something, and my sort of goal in continuing to post videos, which I've posted very few, but truth be told, I've taken a lot, is to usually be outside somewhere that feels really authentic to me and really peaceful. So for me, that's mainly being alone in nature. And the purpose of this post is sort of to share a little bit and why I don't usually post, and what I've been thinking about recently, which is really this idea of transparency. So if we were all transparent, we would never lie, right? There would be no need to lie, because lying, when we're not telling the truth, and if you don't like lying, let's just say when you're being dishonest, right? So when you're not being honest, when you're not telling the truth, even if it's like the tiniest, littlest white lie, you're not being transparent. You're not really you're not really allowing yourself and someone else, and maybe many others, to know how you're really feeling. And to me, why this happens to me, and why this happens to other people all the time, in a ridiculous amount, is because we somehow believe that it's okay to feel certain feelings but not to feel other feelings. And then even kind of underneath that is that the feelings where we believe somehow they're not okay to feel, or they're like wrong or bad to feel, that we're going to be really heavily judged for feeling that feeling, right? Or thinking that way, thinking or feeling or having like an emotional state in that way by other people. And because we're afraid of being judged, or we're afraid ultimately, right, of somehow our validation being our self-worth through what someone thinks of us, or even kind of what we think of ourselves, because we lie to ourselves, right? We're dishonest with ourselves. And I'm using the we because I'm assuming that I'm not the only one that does this, so maybe you don't. That we're going to be judged. We're not going to be enough. So I thought it was kind of the perfect like segue into posting more videos, to be transparent with whoever is choosing to watch this, and to share for myself what's difficult. What's difficult is to be transparent and really be seen, with all the various judgments that obviously anyone will have that sees you, but to not be afraid or not care, right? Or to know your own worth so much has really nothing to do with what this person ultimately thinks or judges about you, or yourself. So it's kind of an exercise. It's like anything, the practice of satya. So, if we follow yoga philosophy and we look to the yamas and the niyamas, a lot of them have to do with this ability to really get transparent. So satya, to be truthful, to tell the truth, is really this idea. Can you become more transparent? Can you become more clear, where if you feel something to someone, and it might be very uncomfortable to really speak your truth to this person, right? To really let them know, like, this is why I don't want to come to this event, or this is why I don't want to work here anymore, or, this is why I'm feeling about this dinner, whatever it may be. And there's many layers of this. To not be afraid to tell this person what you're really feeling about the situation, and to have that clear level of communication. And what I found is the friends and the relationships that I'm having, a bird just caught a fish, that was really cool, where I'm able to do that and they're able to do that with me, we have a really good relationship. We have a deeper relationship, and we have a more understanding relationship. And sometimes it's like, is it the chicken or the egg, right? So if you are friends with someone, or you have a relationship with someone who really doesn't judge you, it's much easier to be transparent with them, because you feel like they're never judging you. it can be much more difficult to really be transparent with someone where you do feel like there is a lot of judgment. And then further with that, like say it's your boss, where you do feel like there's going to be a lot of judgment, and then also there's going to be like repercussions, right? So there's layers of how easy this practice of transparency and being truthful and honest about how you feel, there's layers of how deep this kind of goes. So if you're interested in sort of starting this practice, or just trying to remain a little more true to you, start just really simple, like transparency more with your friends, maybe more with your partner, maybe more with your children, or more with your parents. You know, relationships where you feel like there's a safetiness, where you're not so worried about being judged, you know, because you know they're still gonna love you. So that's like a good place to start. And also just notice the feeling of when you're going to tell the white lie, or when you do tell the white lie, right? Or when you send that like fake text, because how many people are out there sending fake texts, right? Like, oh, the night rolls around that they're supposed to go to this event. They don't want to go to the event. And there's various reasons why. There's a million reasons why people do this. I've done this. And it's silly, because instead of just saying like, hey, I know I said I was going to come to your party, or I'm going to come to this event, like, I just don't feel like it today. I had a great day lounging around, and I want to lounge around. I'm still in my sweatpants. Or, hey, like, I had a great day today, and I ate a whole bunch of cookies, and I don't feel like getting dressed up. Or, hey, I got in a fight with my husband or my wife, and I'm not in a good mood. I don't feel like going out. There's so many reasons why we commit to something, and then we, at the last minute, change our mind, right? And there's not necessarily something wrong with this, because things change, and being in the flow of the moment and the day, things change. What there's something wrong with, I think, is the way that we value people being dependable, and then we don't hold them accountable when we know that they lie. And this is the other, to be on the other side, right? To know that you're like being told a white lie, and to stand in your own power and truth, and kind of like call that person out, like, hey, are you lying? You know, like, what's really going on? How do you really feel? Why can't you tell me how you really feel? There's a lot of power in our ability to become more clear with one another. And a good friend of mine talks a lot about the yugas, and how as we move again into the golden age, you know, as we move into this new time period, which will happen in maybe, I don't know, like 60, 80 years or something, we will become just naturally more transparent, as we once were, as humans, or whatever, you know, we are, light beings on this earth, as we once were together. And in that sort of shift and that like ascension that's happening for each one of us, it is going to be easier to do it, because you're going to access more of your own power. And then this is the chicken and the egg, right? Or this is the spinning wheel, that you keep doing it, and it gets easier, and things become more clear, and you become more clear, and there's less need for you to not be transparent. The journey is a big journey to move out of fear and move in to what's really what we are, which is light and love. It's a big journey, and you might be like in like a well, like you fell in the well of fear, and you're climbing out, you're like slowly climbing out, but sometimes like you slip and you go way back down, and you're kind of halfway there, and it's super scary to keep going. So you just sort of hover, or you hang out, or you give up and you fall back in. A lot of people on this planet are in that. And I'm not going to touch on a whole bunch of various interpretations of like kind of conspiracy theories, or different beings, or different beings that are controlling the planet, so to speak, or trying to alter sort of the course of where we're going. But whether it's conspiracy or it's just a way to make money, you also have to recognize, you know, how much in your like outer environment do you let shape you? Like, how much do you let media and marketing and like self-worth and validation come from outside sources? Like, how into celebrities are you? How much TV do you watch, right? How many like trash magazines do you read? Like, when you hear about something like Angelina and Brad Pitt breaking up, like, how into that do you get? Or do you want to spend your time, you know, you get to decide how you spend your time. These 24 hours that you have in every day, even if you think like, oh, I have all these obligations because I have my job and my family and my kids and all this stuff, and I have to sleep and I have to eat, you're still in control of a lot of that time. How you are in your head, how you're choosing to look at things, and what you do in your spare time is really important. So for me, the easiest way is like whenever I have spare time, I get my yoga practice in, but I don't think of that as spare time. Second is I get out in nature. And I try to carve out time that I can do it by myself. As much as I love being a mom, as much as I love being with my daughter, I'm really grateful when my husband wants to just be with her, or my mom wants to just be with her, or some of her aunts, or, you know, her grandparents, because it's so important for me to just be with me. I reflect, I think about these things, I feel the connection that I have to this beautiful planet and what's true and what's transparent. You know, I'm out here at dusk. What's true is Earth is beautiful. What's true is there's no problems. There's nothing wrong. What's true is this is a great day because I'm alive. And what's true is really nothing's guaranteed. So whatever you choose to do in your day with the free time that you can allocate for yourself, you know, focus on what is true, like what's really easy to be transparent. And it goes deeper than just like the face value. So what you look like, the clothes that you wear, you know, your style, your house, all these things that it's so easy as adults, and at least, you know, I'm an American, so at least from an American's perspective, to kind of get in that world where we place our value on things and our worth based on the things we have or the accomplishments that we've done or the job or the amount of money in our bank account. And these things, then they bind us, you know. And to me, it's beautiful to be abundant and to manifest things that you want and to appreciate beauty through material form. But it's a dance. It's a dance to appreciate it and enjoy it. And, you know, I think of it like, to me, it's like play, like dress up. But to not take it so seriously, because ultimately, whatever I wear, whatever my house looks like, whatever my job is, whatever my bank account is, what's real, what's true is how I feel inside, the connection that I have to myself, to my heart, to my higher self, and to all beings, the connection we all have to each other, what we're doing in the world with our vibration, how we feel. So I'd love to hear your comments on being transparent and how it's going for you, and if it's something that you think about, little white lies, and if you think about satya in a different way, you know, telling the truth and being honest, and what you have to say about it. So I hope that you're having a great first full day of autumn. And that is all, my friends. Namaste.